Erev Tov, Rabotai. Let's continue talking about Chanuka a little bit. So, there's always a question when it comes to holidays. Are you allowed to work on, the holiday on Hanukkah? Are you allowed to go to work and do labor and things like this? So the answer is that the rabbis were not mitaken, that we shouldn't do labor on Hanukkah. They didn't make such a takana like this. It's 8 days after all, so there's too much. Can you imagine telling people, don't work for 8 days, where's the parnasah going to come from? It's going to be difficult like this, right, to live like that. So the rabbis didn't make such things like this. They just made this holiday, the Chanukkah, for praises, v'tishbachot, to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is the main idea of the holiday, but not to stay home and do nothing all day. That's not what they made it for. So they didn't include this issue of melacha. By the way, with Purim it's a little bit different. With Purim, they say that it's really better not to work on Purim. Some people do go to work on Purim. But the truth is, in Eretz Israel, in the religious areas over there, nobody works on Purim. No, nobody does that. So they say that Chazal, even if you do go to work on Purim, you won't see any siman bracha from this money that you make. No bracha. But when it comes to Hanukkah, they didn't say anything like that. So therefore, your person can work the regular way. There's not really a problem with that at all. But there is a custom like this, minhag, that the ladies, they don't do melacha on Hanukkah during the candle lighting, when the candle is lit. So that half hour, that the candle is lit, the ladies don't do melacha. This is the minhag of all Israel. Everybody does it like this. So therefore, if the lady, wants to do something during that half hour when they light the Hanukkah candle, she should have her, let's say her son do it. Let's say she wants to do laundry, right? So somebody needs to press the button for the machine. So tell her son, you press the button. Why? Because I don't do now melacha during the candle lighting, the Hanukkah. They don't do. So that's why I tell her son to do it. Something like that, same thing, But we're talking about real melacha, something which is like work, like something like that, right? Laundry is real work, It used to be anyway in the old days, before we had machines. It was a lot of work involved there. Laundry took like the whole day to do laundry, it was a big thing. So, the women, as we said, right? But that, women should not say, what, I'm not going to work all day, I'm not going to do nothing all day, in Hanukkah. No, it's not like that. Only that half hour that the candles are lit. Besides that, they should be doing the normal thing, that they're doing every day. Why should you change anything? There's no reason to change anything when it comes to that. Okay, very good. So we understand that, right? The issue of labor, doing melacha, there's no problem with that on Hanukkah. So now let's talk about a little bit about something interesting, which is that if a person, let's say, let's say two families live together, so you have, the father and the mother, right? They're older, and then you have, let's say, the daughter lives there with her husband, one lives upstairs, one lives downstairs, right? In the same house, whatever, like this, right? There are people like this who live like this. Many cases you find, right? Because sometimes what happens is that when they get married, the young people, they don't have enough money to go by themselves, So they want to freeload a little bit, from the parents, a little bit, right? Until they get on their feet, right? So you know how it is, right? And then they'll leave, afterwards. If once they get some money, they'll go their own way, right? And find their own way. But until then, when they're young, they stay there sometimes. But so, they're downstairs, they're upstairs. So now the question is like this, right? This guy who's living downstairs, the young guy, right? The son-in-law, whatever, right? The son, right? He's already married. So what should he do? Should he hear the Chanukkah lighting from his father or father-in-law that was lighting upstairs in the house? How do you manage this, right? What do you do, right? So the truth is that you can do that. There's no problem, when the papa comes home, from work, whatever, right? 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever. Whenever he comes home, they all get together, and the papa will light for everybody, the downstairs, upstairs, right? The whole mishpacha, the whole jamat. Right? You can do like that. But the thing is, sometimes what happens is, that the younger people, they're more religious, and the papa is not so religious, just, he's mesorati, traditional, right? Whatever. So he doesn't care so much, what time he lights, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whenever he gets home, he'll do it. But the son, is more, Haredi, he's religious, he's fanati, as I say, right? Oh, he wants to light early at the right time, like we said, right? What time should you be lighting? But 4:45, 5 o'clock. This is a good time, to light Hanukkah candles. The best time. So he wants to do the earlier, So can he do this? Can he do earlier and not wait for his papa, the big papa to come home? He wants to do the mitzvah the best way, So can he do that? So the answer is, since he's doing it before the papa gets home, then yes, he can do. Why? Because the papa didn't yet, do the mitzvah yet. So he can go early and do earlier than him. But if the papa already did the mitzvah, and now he wants to do himself, he cannot. You know why? Because he already yatzai dechovah. He fulfills the obligation. So now, if he would go and make a bracha, it would be bracha levatala. It would be wasted blessing. Bracha levatala. So this you cannot do. But before he comes, if they want to do it earlier, since the papa still didn't do the mitzvah yet, he didn't do, so they can do, and go earlier and then do it like this. Yeah.
1 second. Now, like you're saying, papa is traditional and you are religious.
Right.
You did. You were here on an Arvit, let's say.
Right.
Papa's turn on the light over there, Chanuka lights. So the religious guy didn't hear it. He was here.
Right.
So when he comes back home, can you light for yourself?
So if the papa already lit the Chanuka candles, yatzai dechofah. That's it. The whole mishpacha goes with him. You know what I mean?
But the guy is not here. He wasn't home.
Right. Doesn't matter. As I told you, right? It doesn't really matter. You don't have to be home to do the mitzvah of Chanukah. Even if you're outside, your wife lights for you. Yatzai dechova. Same thing.
He was here. He didn't hear.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't need amen. Doesn't need telephone, video. Don't need nothing like that. If he does it, the papa, everybody does the mitzvah. That's it. The mitzvah is done already. So you cannot do again. The mitzvah, same thing, right? So same thing. Also, something similar to that is like what happens is sometimes that the bachur goes to yeshiva, to learn in yeshiva. So Papa is living in Queens, whatever. He's living in Regal Park, Forest Hills, and the Bachur Yeshiva is in Monsey, or he's in Lakewood, or he's in Eretz Israel even, something like that, right? So the question is, what does he do with this Bachur now, right? He's in the dorm. He's got a dorm over there in Yeshiva, but the truth is, they're lighting for him at home. That's the thing. He lives over there. He doesn't really live in Yeshiva. He just dorms there, So therefore, the truth is, according to the Sephardi custom, the Bachur in Yeshiva doesn't have to light because they're lighting for him at home. That's enough already. Dayenu, So what he can do is, just maybe light without a bracha, or something like that, or see, the other people lighting, and say amen, or whatever, something like that. But he doesn't need to light for himself. Why? Because his mishpacha lives in Queens. Even though he's in Monsey, right? But he's say dechovah. Same thing, even though he's not home, right? But still, the fact that his father is doing it, right? Or whoever it is in the house who's doing it, his mother, whatever, that's enough for the Dayanim, right? That's good enough already. So you don't need to do, right, same thing, twice. Bracha levatala, it would be bracha levatala. So that's the,
yeah. Losing all the connection with this, what you're saying right now. All the connection, family connection to this house.
What can you do? The person, he has a bachur, he wants to go to yeshiva. He's very connected, a person who goes to yeshiva, he's connected with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he doesn't need any more than that, what I mean? What does he need? He's in yeshiva learning Torah, learning 12 hours a day Torah,
So if you don't light in 5 o'clock, 5:30, it's already like, you don't have to even do it.
I'm sorry, what was it? What you saying?
You're saying that important to do is with a certain time. Let's say,
yeah.
Right, like let's say we do it like I used to say to collectively, all family.
Right. Yeah, you can wait. It's okay, if you want to do that. Yeah.
Everybody waiting for this. But now afterward, your words, it sounds like it's not really important. You can light or you don't.
No, everything is good. This is the halacha, this is the way the chachamim made the takana, so we cannot ask questions, why this, why. That's the way the rabbis made it, this takana, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, we cannot change now. After, 2,000 years, what are we going to do? Change it? This is the way they made it, so what can you do, right? We have our own ideas, you have your ideas, I have my ideas. But the rabbis made the takana the way they made, so that's it. That's all there is, that's all we have. So that's the thing, Okay, so that's regarding, as we said, right, a person who's in yeshiva, same idea, he can also, right, he can be yotzei dechovah with his family, his family's lighting for him. So that's fine. It doesn't matter, by the way, if they're far away, Let's say he's in Eretz Israel, so there's like 7 hours difference, over there, here and there. It doesn't matter. If his parents are lighting for him, even 7 hours difference, yatzai dechovah, it's a full obligation. So it's fine, So he doesn't have to light over there in the dorm. That's the way it works, So Baruch Hashem, that's very good. I want to tell you one more thing before we start Arvit. Something interesting, that the question is like this regarding Arvit, Motzi Shabbat, right? What is the best time to pray Arvit Motzi Shabbat? What is the best time? So, right, some people, they think that it's better to pray later, because let Shabbat go out, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, I don't know, whatever, right? Rabbeinu Tam, 1 hour, 72 minutes. They say the better, the later. The later, the better. But the truth is, according to the Kabbalah, according to the Zohar Kadosh, in Parshat Vayakhel, it's not like that. It's not like that. It's not like that. So, it's not like that. So, what am I telling you? It says in the Zohar Kadosh, it's not good, to do it this way, to pray late. Motzi Shabbat Arvit. And the reason is because what happens is, right, that when Shabbat goes out, everything changes, in the Marechet, in Shamayim, the angels, they change. Because there's Malachim in Shamayim that are for Shabbat. But then when Shabbat finishes, there are Malachim that come, which are for Yom Chol. They change the shift, like this, right? This is what happens. So what happens is, right, that the Malachim that come for Yom Chol, they come right after Shabbat finishes, So those Malachim are not so Kadosh like the Malachim for Shabbat. So says the Zohar Kadosh, what happens is that if you don't finish Shabbat, by the time that you finish over there upstairs, what happens is that those Malachim that come for Yom Chol, they take the Kedusha of Shabbat, and they're not supposed to get that because they're for Yom Chol. They're not, so it's going to a bad place, the Kedusha of Shabbat. So therefore the Zohar Kadosh says, because of this, better to pray Arvit early, when Shabbat goes out. So when does Shabbat go out? According to Geonim, it's like 20 minutes, half hour, So that's the best thing, that's why Maran used to do, that's what he used to do. Half hour after Shkiyah, he used to do Arvit, Motzi Shabbat. Because he knew about the Zohar, this is the reason why. So the Sfardim, we do Arvit early. But there are, some Hasidim, they do late. They wait for Rabbeinu Tam, they wait for this, they wait for that. But the truth is, according to the Zohar, it's not proper to do that. It's better to do Arvit early, half hour after Shkiyah, and something like that. And by the time you finish, Baruch Hashem, everything is good. You have the timing comes out very nice. So that's the best way to do it according to the Sephardi custom. This is what we do. There are some others, who do it late, but really the truth is, according to the Zohar, it's not proper because you're giving the Kedusha of Shabbat to the Malachim of Yom Chol, and this is not a good thing. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen, amen. רבי חנניה מקדש אומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא להוסיף לישראל, לפיכך הרבה להם תורה ומצוות שנאמר בני חפץ, למען צדקו יגדיל תורה ויאדיר.